You have been there before, staring at a report filled with messy charts, clashing fonts, and inconsistent colors. What's your first reaction? Confusion? Frustration? Doubt? Even if the data presented in the report was strong, its disorganized look certainly diminished its credibility. And this isn't just about aesthetics. Messy visuals break trust. Strong analysts recognize that a clean, polished design is just as important as the data itself. It's what we call refined execution, and it's the third of the 3 rules of effective Dataviz. Let's break down that rule now and learn the art of refined execution today on ArtScience. Hey there, I'm Kevin Hartman, Associate Professor at the University of Notre Dame and founder of the ArtScience Analytics Institute, where our mission is to make you a better data analyst. In this video, we are going to explore refined execution and dive into why polished visuals and meticulous attention to detail are crucial for successful data visualizations. Think of refined execution as a set of guidelines that strips charts of any distractions. We concentrate on elements such as lines, including fonts, which are essentially collections of straight and curved lines, shapes, spacing, and color. Let's take a closer look at each of these components now. When designing visuals, simplicity should be paramount. Whether you're working on a graph or choosing a font, the lines you use should be sleek and unembellished, avoiding extras like shadows or 3D effects, or even data markers that could distract from the main data. This approach helps to convey the information more directly and more accurately. Both straight and curved lines should be kept clean and simple to prevent drawing the viewer's attention away from the overall trend you are trying to highlight. Have you ever seen a chart littered with unnecessary dots and markers? Instead of following the trend, your eyes bounce between those tiny points, losing the story in the process. It is also essential to select appropriate professional fonts instead of whimsical options like handwriting fonts or worse, Comic Sans. Although such fonts might add personality to your presentation, they often render the text difficult to read and become a distraction for the audience. Look to reputable outlets like the New York Times or Wall Street Journal for examples of using serious, practical fonts over gimmicky ones. As an analyst, you should aim to emulate an established news organization rather than a cartoon. Simple fonts like Helvetica or Arial enhance the readability of your graphs, and maintaining consistent font choices throughout your presentation aids the audience in understanding the content without encountering jarring shifts in style. Additionally, you can improve your readability by avoiding rotating your text on your charts, keeping all text, especially labels, aligned horizontally as we read naturally. This ensures easy readability and minimizes distractions. Next, let's discuss shapes. The most efficient shapes for displaying data are those that exclude any unnecessary decorative elements that might detract from the information. For instance, in bar charts, it is critically important to steer clear of 3D rendering, since it obscures the true values of the data being presented. Look, if you've ever been tempted by the 3D button in your software, stop. The illusion of depth distorts perception and makes accurate comparisons nearly impossible. No serious analyst uses 3D charts, period. Stick with clean, two-dimensional shapes that allow viewers to compare and understand the data with ease. Similarly, incorporating textures or images into your charts, whether that is as part of the visual or the backdrop to the visual, only serves to conceal the data and divert the audience's attention. The guiding principle for shapes is that anything decorative not directly related to the data has no place in your chart. Maintaining consistency in elements like charts, icons, and spacing can greatly enhance how effectively your information is communicated. Keeping these elements uniform in position throughout your visuals creates an organized and neat appearance, and this allows viewers to focus on the content rather than on distractions caused by the layout. How elements are arranged on the page can also influence the audience's interpretation of the information. Consistency should extend from page to page in your presentations, improving overall design cohesion. Moreover, making sure your charts, icons, and images are uniform in size, both in height and width, further reinforces consistency and bolsters the effectiveness of your presentation. Finally, color is another crucial aspect to consider when designing visualizations. The colors you select have a significant impact on the viewer's perception and focus. It's important to choose shades that not only complement each other, but also provide adequate contrast. Color is almost always the first aspect someone notices in your visualization, so examining its influence on the audience is key. Creating a harmonious visual relies on carefully choosing colors, and this involves understanding concepts like hue, which refers to the dominant color in the object. Some hues naturally complement one another, like blues and greens, while others are more contrasting, such as black and white. A very sophisticated use of color involves varying saturations and shades of a single hue. Think light to dark blue or light to dark green. The varying saturation levels of a single hue gives your presentation a professional look with a definite dominant theme. Complement those saturation levels with a healthy mix of whites and light grays, and you've got all the contrast you'll need in your presentation. This approach also applies contrast in a way that is very appealing to the eye. It avoids the stark contrasting of primary colors, which can be distracting and overwhelming. It is also important to consider colorblind awareness. Approximately 8% of men and 2% of women experience color blindness. This means that someone in your audience most likely is going to struggle to differentiate between hues such as red and green or blue and yellow. By limiting your color palette to 1, 2, or maybe 3 hues, incorporating different levels of saturation, along with black, grays, and whites, you can make your visualizations accessible to all viewers. And there's an important step you can take. There are several online tools available that let you upload your visuals to see how it appears to people with various types of color blindness. These tools will help you ensure that you are designing in a way that is accessible to all. Alternatively, you can convert your charts to grayscale to test the effectiveness of your color contrast. If your chart remains clear in black and white and shades of gray, then you're using color successfully. When lines, shapes, spacing, and color are inconsistent or poorly designed, it complicates the audience's ability to process information. Instead of grasping your message instantly, they find themselves trying to make sense of irregular layouts, misaligned charts, and inconsistent fonts. Great data visualizations don't just tell a story, they remove every barrier between your audience and the insight. The cleanest, simplest charts are the ones people trust and remember. Refined execution isn't just about making charts look good, it's about earning trust, improving clarity, and making insights impossible to ignore. So before you finalize your next visualization, take a step back and ask yourself, is every element working for me or against me? Make it clean, make it clear, make it refined. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, take a moment and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it with anyone who you think is interested in data analytics. Every single week, we are bringing new, exciting, and important videos on data analytics to this channel, and we would love to have you there for the journey. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description for additional ArtScience resources and sign up for our newsletter to get exclusive tips, course updates, and more directly in your inbox. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.